Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Navy lacrosse getting underway this week. 2 scrimmages in their back pocket. Now the chance to keep those results for real as they take on Vermont on Saturday at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Don't forget, Joe Miller will have the call for you on the Patriot League Network. We'll be with basketball up at Lehigh with Nick Franchuk, who will be playing defense this year for the Mids. You all have a very young core of defensemen right now. Working with Coach Wellner to get this thing, a little chemistry going. How's it been so far as you all made the transition from fall now to spring, where you kind of get to keep these results finally?
Yeah, there's definitely been a ton of carryover. Big emphasis was clearing the ball. We've been successful in that thus far. Still coming together as a unit. Definitely young, but we're all super eager to learn, and it's definitely showing up on a week-to-week basis. We've had some really good practices going forth in the first few weeks.
How have the first 2 scrimmages gone for you guys? I mean, literally, I'm sure in that environment, it's just possession by possession, just working on things throughout. But how's it been developing over the first 2 scrimmages?
It's been developing. We've had a couple slow starts, but we've kind of been resilient in that, and we've made progress in the second, third, and fourth quarters. So we're finishing strong, which is positive, and we're adjusting to the other team's offense, and against Richmond, we were able to get some serious stops in the third quarter and then in the fourth quarter.
Is this a game now, especially, I mean, look, as we were talking with Marie Valenti from the women's team earlier, this sport continues to conspire against you guys on defense. I mean, all the rules seemingly tilt toward the offense, but how difficult is it now to defend? And you mentioned clearing the ball. With that shot clock in play now, is clearing the ball and getting that ball going up the field, is the emphasis even more about efficiency now and getting possession and getting your team going upfield?
Definitely got to be efficient. You got that 15 seconds right after the ball's turned over to get it up and over the midfield line. So definitely an emphasis on that. That, I would say, the bigger change is just that shot clock. You play those 80-second possessions, and then say you get a ricochet or it goes off the pipe, you got to just get ready to play another 80 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a testament. We've been able to hold some teams out for 2 to 3 possessions, so it's a testament to kind of just being in shape and being ready to kind of buckle down when you have to. But it's definitely become a little more run and gun, I'd say. Teams can't really slowly and methodically set up their offense and then wait for that perfect shot. Teams are trying to get the ball off, I would say, around 25 to 20 seconds. If they're a slower developing team, other teams are going to try to come right at you. So,
Do you think, depending on the matchups, we're going to see defensive units now maybe apply a little bit more pressure and try and speed offenses up because of the clock? Even though the clock, 80 seconds in itself is a long time, but as we've seen, when teams have the clock put on them by the officials, you see offenses that get a little chaotic and put a little pressure on themselves. They kind of feel some false pressure. Do you think that will enable defensive units now to maybe to press out a little bit more and try to get teams to feel some of that false pressure?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know we're going to start pressing out once that clock gets to be lower, like around 15, because we're not going to get up anything towards the end of a possession. But speaking for us, we're going to be physical. We're going to be out in your face early in all the possessions. So going off what you said, we're going to do it, and I would expect other teams to do it, to kind of try to throw that offense off their rhythm so they can't kind of try to get into that quick flow of offense, kind of throw them off, maybe stagnate it. That's only going to take time off the clock. And then, like you said, that's going to result in them feeling even more of that false sense of pressure.
Growing up, you played football too. Was there ever a chance football was going to be it, or was lacrosse always going to be the play?
Briefly thought for football. Mom wasn't the biggest fan of it just because she was always, with all the concussion stuff, she wasn't the biggest fan of it, but thought about it. But when I was
because you played running back too, so you're dinged on the noggin a few more times.
After committing to Navy, I was sold on that, and nothing was really gonna shift my focus from there. So
your dad, Greg, who has passed, was an All-American in North Carolina State in the late 70s and early 80s, and he introduced you to the sport. Happy to be playing the sport that he played, and obviously carrying on that legacy at the Division I level, playing at an institution like Navy?
Yeah, it's awesome. He was a huge fan of Navy even when I was a little kid, before any of this recruiting stuff kind of started up. He always emphasized how great the academy was, and things kind of fell into place just as the recruiting picked up, that Navy came into prospect. And yeah, it's awesome to be able to play the game that he played at the same level, and now for Navy.
When did you know that lacrosse could be the vehicle to not only a Division I sport, but obviously a great education like Navy presents?
I would say I really started thinking about Navy my sophomore year, and the whole recruiting pipeline. I was fortunate enough to be put on a good summer team, which definitely helped speed up that recruiting process. And then my high school coach spoke to me about, and some other mentors spoke to me about using lacrosse as a way to achieve that highest education and achieve those goals of military service and things like that that the Naval Academy offers. And as I said, when the Naval Academy was on the table, I didn't really think anything was going to beat that opportunity overall.
Not educationally.
Not
We know
educationally,
that.
no.
When you make that decision, I'm sure there's a thought of what the Naval Academy is.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're into your second season here, what maybe did you think it was, and what is it to you? Is it different than what you thought, or is it pretty much what you expected?
I would say it's mostly what I expected. Different. I spent a year at NAP, so it's a little bit different from that. Now
Sure.
to actually be here, I can speak on behalf of the academics. I knew it was going to be challenging. I knew it was going to be some late nights. That was going to be tough. The military aspect of it, wasn't so sure what to expect. I guess you get a little taste of that. And but lacrosse-wise, I knew it was going to be a hard-working culture, blue-collar attitude, which we kind of pride ourselves on. And that's the group guys I want to be with. Bigger dudes, bigger athletes, who just love playing the game with each other.
I know you think for the seniors, guys like Grayson,
Mm-hmm.
they've done pretty much everything within this program except win that Patriot League tournament championship.
Mm-hmm.
They've been able to do everything. How much do you all feel for those guys that you want to push them over the finish line this year and get that elusive title for them?
Yes, Coach Foley says you got 13 guaranteed games. I'm sure you've heard that. And the other day he mentioned that after we finished up the preseason, and that I think juiced all of us up a little bit to push for them. And the whole team is super close to the seniors. They've done a great job in terms of leadership, especially Grayson and Ryan and Ian wearing number 40. And we're all pushing for them. We want to win that Patriot League championship.
All right, big fella. Appreciate the time. Best of luck on Saturday as y'all get to keep the results coming up this week against Vermont.
Yep.
All right, Nick Franchuk joining us here on the Navy Sports Magazine.